What's going on, guys? This is Mitchell back with Slim Outdoors, and in today's episode I'm going to be doing a reel review. Alright, so this is the new reel. This is the Diawa Zillion SVTWG, which is very similar to the SVTW. I think it's just a difference of some of the parts are aluminum versus some of the pieces in the SVTW I believe are graphite, but I think it's like just the side plate piece is aluminum on one versus the other. Overall, this reel retails for I think between $350 and $400. It's the most money I've ever spent on a reel. I really don't want to spend more money than this on a reel. This was just kind of a one-off thing for me. But anyways, enough about that. Currently, I'm throwing this on the Daiwa Zillion Elite casting rod. This is the Corey Johnston model. It's a 7'5" soft stick bait / football jig rod. And overall, I'm a big fan of this setup. I think it looks great. I think it fishes great. It's very soft. I feel like I could throw just about anything with this. So far, I've thrown jigs, chatterbaits, and Senkos a little bit, but mostly jigs and chatterbaits. I may throw some frogs with it, some other topwater baits in the future. But I kind of got this to be my everything workhorse. Like if I want to throw a jig, if I want to take one rod out of the rod locker and just throw something on this, I could. And I really think I could throw just about anything with this without any issue. That's kind of enough about the rod though. This is more about the Diawa Zillion reel for you guys. So this reel has a couple great features on it. So kind of standard with the Daiwas, it has the TW, which is the T-wing system. So this is what it looks like when the bail's closed. This is what it looks like when the bail's open when you're going to cast it, which I think is really awesome. So this helps you get an increased level of casting distance and casting accuracy. And then the nice thing is that window for how much room it has to reel in really thins down. So you can crank in your line efficiently while also getting that really nice casting distance. The other thing, which I've never had a reel with this many adjustments, I think my 13 reels have like 6 adjustments. The Corrado DC has 4. This reel currently I have it set on 6 or 8, I believe. Right there. And this adjustment goes all the way up to 20, I believe. So you can set this all the way up to 20. And the nice thing about this is you can kind of set your brakes and set it and forget it would be a term that I could say. So once you kind of get your brakes wherever you want with what you're throwing, you really don't need to adjust them that much. So personally, I've had mine set anywhere as high as 8 and as low as 5 for what I've been throwing. And I started off throwing chatterbaits and some big jerkbaits with this thing when I was first using it, which was a couple weeks ago. And now I've been throwing bigger football jigs and I've kind of eased it down towards 5. I believe I was throwing it on 7 or 8 when I was first using it, just because I didn't really want to backlash it. I've had virtually no backlashes with this reel. I think I've had 2 or 3, and that was mostly human error. Had nothing to do with the reel, just my thumb slipped. It's been great for that. I really haven't had any backlash issues. It's held up very well. Spool tension knob is great. It's kind of just a standard spool tension knob. Nothing too crazy about that piece of this reel. So we've talked about the T-wing, which is kind of Daiwa's big selling feature, and then the significant brake adjustments, which is another big Daiwa selling feature. The one thing that I can't get over about how cool this reel is, I grew up fishing for crappie, saugeye, and a little bit of bass. Grew up with spinning reels forever. It's kind of what I started with, and I love a clicking drag. I like to hear my drag. It's one thing that I've really missed on bait casters over the years. And when I was shopping for a new bait caster, I was between this and a couple other reels, and then I found out it does this, which I think is just awesome. I love having a clicking drag. This is what it sounds like if you tighten it up. I really like being able to hear my drag, and it's not like I'm just putting this in a rod tube and waiting. It's not that I need the clicking drag. I just like having it. I think it's cool. I think it's nice to be able to hear it when you're fighting a fish. I just think that's part of the fishing experience. So absolutely not a need, purely a want, but I'm a huge fan. So the one thing is this reel is a Daiwa. So this is on the higher end of the Daiwa kind of spectrum. On the reel pricing, the Daiwa Tatulas go, I believe, in the 150 range. The Tatula Elite's around 200. This reel retails between 350 and 400. Actually, not the most expensive reel they make. The Steez reels are, I think, in the $600 or $700 range, which, I mean, hopefully I don't ever spend that much money on a bait casting reel. But I guess I can't really talk too much with this. But the one thing I will say about this, for someone who's looking at this reel versus a Daiwa Tatula, is the quality of this is phenomenal. The whole thing is metal, which I really like. The whole thing feels very solid in your hands. It also feels very small in your hands. It's a very comfortable reel to hold, very comfortable reel to fish with. Casts very easily. This is everything you could possibly want in a bait casting reel. It's very similar to the Tatulas. I would consider this reel to be a lighter, more powerful Tatula with a clicking drag and a little better build quality, and a reel that's probably going to last quite a bit longer than the Tatulas also. If I had any knocks against this reel whatsoever, it would be that I have had a minor amount of chipping on it. But I think that was more just a one-off thing. It got scratched one of the first days that I had it. I haven't had any trouble since then. Fished with this reel a couple times. I didn't want to make a review until I had fished with it a couple times. Caught some nice fish on it. It's it's super light. And I love it. My first kind of big bait casting reel was the Corrado DC. That was a couple years ago. I fished with it. I still fish with it. I love it. It's great at what it does. This reel is just kind of in that next price point up, in that kind of $300 to $400 range, which is a lot of money to spend on a bait casting reel. But if it is something you guys are looking into, I would definitely recommend this. The quality's there. There's a bunch of Zillions also. They've been making this reel model for a very, very long time, which is, I always think, a great sign of the quality, kind of like the Corrado brand as well, and the Tatula brand as well. You're getting a quality product. They make the Tatula HD, which is a 10.0 to 1 gear ratio, which is a ridiculously high gear ratio. It looks really cool. It's just, I wanted something that you could fish in more circumstances. I got the 8.5 to 1. It comes in a 6 and a 7 also. But I really wanted that high gear ratio just because it's super nice to like make a cast, and if you need to hit a different spot, or if you're just running it back to the boat if you miss or whatever, you can get into your next target quickly. And that's something I really like. If you're making a ton of flips, I think it's worth it. And overall, just the quality of this reel is phenomenal. I would say some other interesting things about this reel: you don't have to take the side plate off to adjust the brakes, which is a really cool feature. It's really smooth, like ridiculously smooth, very easy to cast. I really think that you could throw this thing for a whole day without backlashing it once. I didn't have any issues with this reel whatsoever in the heavy wind, heavy rain with backlashing, which is something that is just worth its weight in gold to me. There's no play in the handle. It doesn't move. I'm a big fan of that. I have a couple other reels that you pull in the handle and it just, the whole thing wobbles. The overall build quality of this is phenomenal. Again, other than the scratch or two, but I honestly think that that's just kind of a one-off thing. And it's not something that I really care about. It's like, as long as the reel keeps holding up and keeps working, that's what I care more about than a scratch or two. Currently, I'm throwing this on 30-pound braid. So I actually have 30-pound Power Pro on this. And then I have what is currently a very, very long leader on there, so kind of ignore that part. I have 30-pound Power Pro V8, which is 8-strand braid on here, and I would recommend casting that on this, and really anything else if you're looking into testing out a bait casting reel. Just because those first couple of times you use it, if you put nice fluorocarbon on it, you might backlash it, which just happens with a new reel, just kind of getting everything worked in. So I would definitely recommend putting some braid on there to start with, seeing how it casts. I do think you could throw a floor on this pretty easily without any real backlash trouble. And currently I'm running 15-pound floor on top of this just for some jigs and stuff, so it's held up really well for that. My plan is I'm going to use it for the rest of the summer and the fall and see how it continues to hold up, and then I'll probably update you guys on my thoughts on it. So far, I've caught some really nice smallmouth on it jerkbait fishing. I did get dog walked by what I believe was a big catfish a couple days ago, so that was exciting. Nothing on the reel could have been done. Got me in a tree. I could have tightened the drag up, it was too loose, but that's just kind of its own thing. Yeah. No backlash issues. It's a little bit lighter and smoother than the Tatula, which is great. And if it's a little lighter, it's a little smoother, and it lasts a little longer, that's going to be up to you guys on if you guys want to spend the extra money on a Zillion versus a Tatula. If I needed to get more than one, like this was kind of, I already have bait casting reels. It wasn't really a position where like, oh, if I was going to get 2 or 3 reels, I don't think I would have gotten 2 or 3 Zillions. I think I would have saved my money. But I was looking for one reel to kind of be a workhorse for me, and I really think that's what this is. So I can't complain. I love it. I think that this is a reel that you could buy and just fish with and not have to worry about replacing it. And you can put heavy, like 30-pound braid on. You can fish for about anything on the bass side with this. And you can take it just about anywhere. I mean, not saltwater. I don't think it's salt rated. That would be the one thing I would say. If you're looking at getting a reel and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna take this and fish saltwater, maybe don't. Big fan of this reel. I'm gonna be putting in some footage of me fishing with it, some of the fish that I've caught on it, and just me casting it a little bit just so you can guys see it. It's very quiet. It casts quiet. The whole thing's quiet, other than the drag. It's kind of the opposite of a lot of bait casting reels, where the drag is the loudest part of this reel. Oh my God. Overall, huge fan. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna roll some clips in here of me fishing with it in Vermont, some of the smallies I caught, and I will probably even put in the catfish that took my nice football jig from me. So yeah. Also, another exciting news. Out of the new boat, first fish was on this. That was kind of the vision. One more fun fact, I've been kind of limited to how long of a bait casting rod I can fish with, just because I didn't have any good way to store a rod that was over 7.1, and this was the first rod that came in over 7.1 for me, just because it fit with the new boat. So yeah, overall, love this reel, and I will update you guys in the future about my thoughts and opinions on it. And if you guys want me to compare this to a specific reel, like I can compare this to the Corrado DC, I can compare this to a Daiwa Tatula, a SVTW Daiwa, I could compare this to a Shimano MGL, I could compare this to pretty much anything. I mean, if you guys have any questions in the comments, I will do the research, get back to you on it. And if you want to see like a full-length video of me casting it or learning how to set it up, that can be done too. So, oh, that one crushed it. They're back over there. Someone's kind of eating my lunch right now.
Sounded good. An acrobat.
He ain't small. That has a weird look to it.
Small fish. Oh, he's heavy.
Look at the dimensions on that smallmouth. Okay. There we go.
He's unbelievable. He's over that side of his stick. He's over that side of his stick. Oh, yeah. Got some good sound.
He doesn't know where he wants to go. He barely hit that too. So, hope you guys enjoyed this content. Remember to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. And I will see you guys in our next video. So, until then.